Okay, I am using a selfie stick tonight. Getting a little distance between me and you guys because this no hair, no makeup thing is scaring some of you off. Today I want to talk about something a little bit odd, kind of like a day in the life of a psychic, a medium. I had a little old lady come to me. She was a neighbor, and she mentioned to me that her dog was dying of cancer, and the dog was in discomfort. And I offered to go do some energy work and take the pain away from that dog. I have done it for people who usually are in end stage cancer or some other disorder, and I can take their pain away from them. Um, I just kind of hover my hands over them, and I'm the tool. That's all. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. Anyway, she asked if I kind of could help with the dog, and I had never really done energy work on a dog. I can communicate with them, but this is the first time. I laid my hands on that little dog. It had just had surgery. It was um, diagnosed with a cancerous tumor in its intestine. And it wouldn't have long, and it was going to be a type of tumor that would burst. So, she brought the dog home for a couple of days after the surgery, and the poor dog was in discomfort because it was only just an attempt to buy some time and find out. Well, I laid hands on that little dog because it hadn't moved for a day there at her house, and she was really worried. And I just sent that little dog love. I prayed for it. Um, I called in St. Francis of Assisi, and that is the patron saint of animals. And I just laid my hands on that dog and not pet it. I just held it, just just held them there. That little dog got up and went over to its water bowl and drank. And I was amazed. And the little dog's mother was absolutely thrilled. And then the little dog walked over to its dish and ate a little bit of its food. And then it walked over and curled up on my lap because I was sitting on the floor. We were stunned. I was stunned. Well, after I was gone for a while and the dog had hours of comfort, it kind of happened to be at a point now where we tried it again and brought her a little bit more relief. But her mother had decided that it was time, that she was only prolonging the dog's life and she felt selfish. And that little dog told me to let her know before it passed. Psychically, it told me to let her know that it was okay, that it felt more love with her than some dogs ever get. And I went with this little lady to take this dog and put it down, because it's an emotional time, and she's a neighbor. And I said, "Do you have any family to go with you?" And she said, "No." And if you've ever had to put a dog or a cat down, that's saying goodbye. And she was, I think she's probably in her early 80s, and she's been widowed, and she's all by herself, and that dog was her life and her little companion. So I held her hand and kept my arm around her. Now, mind you, I carried this 50-pound bulldog out of her house and into the car, and out of the car and into the vet. And I'm grateful that I still weight train and can do those things at my age. That's why I do it, so I can. But I held her up through that as they gave the dog the twilight sleep and then the final injection. And I could feel that dog release its soul at the moment that its heart stopped. And it impacted me as much as when I have been in the room when a human being has left and their soul has departed. It was a very powerful thing. Now, I'm getting emotional now, but I didn't then. Because as I said, I had to hold this little old gal up, and then I had to help her to the car, and I drove her in her car and brought us home because she was just a heartbroken mess. And she's a neighbor of mine who did not like me. She was kind of mean to me when I moved in and just grouchy. Just kind of did not make me feel welcome. You guys know that I am a different cut. But I absolutely felt, hey, you got the itchy bugs over there? That's my Miss Maggie. There she is. But I absolutely felt compelled to help this lady that hated me. And when I brought her home, she said, I don't know why more people don't like you. But there you have it, you guys. Just kind of wanted to fill you in on kind of the day in the life of a psychic medium. Just some of the things we do that people don't see. It's close to Halloween time, and if you're a psychic medium, automatically they tag you as a witch. But my first paragraph on my Facebook page where it just has my little description. I say that I am of a Christ consciousness. So I believe in God and I believe in Jesus Christ. But a lot of people don't understand that, and they automatically tag us with being dark or demonic or black magic or whatever, or just charlatans, flat out charlatans. That's another thing. And these Facebook scammers right now that are doing duplicates that are, they duplicate every kind of internet work. Will you quit itching there, girl? Yeah, there you go. Get comfortable. Kind of lost track of where I was there. I kind of wanted to update you guys too a little bit on what's happening around the world. I kind of predicted a lot of this would come. Some of you guys followed me through it, and no, I did. Sometimes when we see these things, and I'm not the only one that saw it. I wasn't. If you're a psychic, if even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, okay? But there is going to be another wave of bad weather again. And no telling where. Because you and I'm here to tell you that they are able to control it and manipulate it. And we have 30 days to go until election. Now, the energies that made that storm move, I'm trying to be careful how I say this because I don't want to bang myself on ratings of YouTube again. And oh, good Lord, I'm been shadow banned anyway because I speak the truth. It is not that storm and how it maneuvered is not a political thing. It has no correlation to our country other than some people are stockholders in. So it's not a Democrat or a Republican. There are evil people on both sides, okay? And there is another storm coming. There's a couple more of them brewing. We still haven't had the earthquakes that I expected. But I am shocked at the people that were not prepared, that had to run out and buy toilet paper and not find it. Like, how did you people not know that this was coming? With the dock shut down, throwing a big scare. There are going to be several more black swan events like that, and those are set up to intentionally cut our supply chain and to make us compliant and to because we're not getting certain things, and you know, there are places now where they can't even get gas to get out. But yeah, there's a little more of that to come. But if you're prepared, And that's all it takes is I started preaching on this maybe a year ago, and over that period of time, um, if everybody had taken a can, an extra can of beans, and put it on the shelf, or put an extra roll of toilet paper up under, we would be prepared for this, right? But yeah, yeah, it's gonna get a little dicey, and you're gonna start seeing shortages on the shelves, and you're not gonna find some of those things. Now, I don't think it's gonna be the complete crash and chaos everywhere, but it could get dicey in the big cities if those migrants and other just poor people, um, if they can't find food and obtain it because they are not stocked, they will start leaving the big cities and roaming. They start looking. There's hunting. They're searching. They'll start marauding out farther until they find, you know, more food and can be fed. So it could get kind of touchy. You know what? Another crazy thing to talk about. Do you guys know how to? Let's just say the grid went down for a little bit. Let me give you a little pointer on like just bathroom skills 101 here. Um, there are different ways you can put a garbage bag down in your toilet. Pull it back, tinkle for one, just down in the drain. Don't dump your paper at all in the toilet or throw it in the bag. Okay. Have water ready, a little bit of water ready beforehand if the grid goes out and you count on electric for your water. And the power is going to go, it's going to happen. I do feel it's only going to be for a 2 or 3 day stretch. No big deal. But if you're ready and you know how to do it, it's it's a breeze. So you kind of put your solid stuff in the garbage bag, and if you just use that as the liner to the pot. That's all. Okay, and so it's whole thing's easy to just pick up and get rid of. Um, if you do have a shortage of paper, when you pee, you can wipe with a cloth, and eventually you're going to be able to wash it out. We're talking that this is kind of semi survival mode. But just save your paper for number two. Just a little common sense thing. I'm a country girl. I have gone without electric for weeks on end, and you learn how to adapt, improvise, and overcome. Okay, we don't give up. We don't give up. um, you might want a backup way to cook, right? Get a little camp stove. If you have a barbecue grill with propane and you have you can cook on that. If you have one of those side burners, that's really perfect. Make sure you have propane. A little backup there. That's all. So yeah, just some common sense stuff. But it gets pretty interesting in the day in the life of a psychic medium. All right. I rambled on for almost 20 minutes just trying to work up some view time for YouTube's calculations. But to be truthful with you, I never leave you that I don't sincerely bless you with love and light.